Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Conversation. Now today's episode, got my favorite mug out here, Tourist Crossing. You can see that, this bear chasing the man. Got this in Niagara Falls, that's a tourist shop. No coffee today in it, but we'll just pretend that there's coffee. Now, I wanted to show this off before we begin the video. I think this might resonate with a lot of you people, and again, believe me, this is getting somewhere. Do you guys remember this CD? The chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water. Unbelievable. Classic Limp Bizkit. Everybody had this album. You know, I can remember the first time I heard Limp Bizkit. I was working in high school. I was working at a truck stop, Tim Hortons. And one of the guys that was working there as well, he had his, we would call them Discmen. It was like a Walkman that you put a CD in. And he had it in the washroom, and I had to take a shit. I had to take a dump. I had to drop a deuce, and I took his Discman without his consent into the bathroom, and then I put it on, and he had this CD on in the Discman, and I remember the beginning. All I hear is, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water." And the song Hot Dog kicked on. Unbelievable. Anyways, I don't want to talk about Limp Bizkit here. I've seen them live, by the way. But, there was a lot of great songs on here. A lot of the Limp Bizkit tunes would resonate with people in a lot of different ways. One of them would be if you were going through a breakup or hard times with your significant other. And, my buddy recently, he's on the platform here. We don't need to name names, but he reached out to me, and he's going through a bit of a rough time. His girlfriend, his partner of 10 years, she took off, decided she needed a break, and she's not talking to him right now, and he's obviously pretty stressed out, understandably so. And I kind of wanted to bring it up because, when you're talking about, and I don't know his situation personally, I don't know a lot about it there, but it just kind of puts things in perspective, when you're with someone for that long, or even if you're in a relationship for 5 or 6 months, sometimes you can still have pretty strong feelings towards the other person. And, when there's friction, or let's say the person breaks up with you and maybe you thought things were kosher, it can be like the worst feeling in the world. And all of a sudden, you're not even thinking about gaming. You don't have the willpower to pick the controller up. You don't want to talk to anybody. You're kind of closed off. It can be a depressing situation for sure. And, you think about it, what's more important, video games or a relationship? Well, I think that's kind of a stupid question. I mean, they both kind of go hand in hand. If you're, a hardcore gamer and it's your hobby and you're passionate about it, however silly as that might sound, you have to be able to have a relationship, but be able to game as well. But I think realistically, if you're chasing nookie or you're, let's be honest here, guys. Let's be honest here. I think we can all agree sex is a little bit more important than gaming. Let's be honest here. If you're with a hot chick and you're getting that nookie, fuck the video games. That can wait. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I think most of you would agree with me there. And that's the thing. Like I've been in plenty of relationships myself, and I'll be honest with you guys, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but when I'm with the other person, I'm not really gaming. The only time I would game is if I had an off day where I'm at home and she's not here and we're not hanging out for whatever reason, then I can sneak a little bit of gaming in. But if I'm with her, do you think I'm going to go up to the game room here and hook up the Xbox in front of her? I don't think so. That's just me. Again, I'm not saying that's right. If you're in a long-term relationship, the other person should fully understand that you do need your personal time, maybe your alone time, or maybe understand that you are into gaming and respect that as well. So that was a problem for me with a lot of my relationships. I wasn't really open and honest about my love for video gaming, because again, and we've talked about this before on the channel, you're afraid that if you are brutally honest about it, that the person's probably going to not want anything to do with you. So again, not the best thing to talk about on a first date, but again, obviously, as you get further into a relationship, you definitely want to have that discussion. Now, if you're in a relationship and you're a gamer, how are we doing for time here? 5 minutes? You're in a relationship, and then all of a sudden, you know, your girl, your boo, your woman stops talking to you. You shouldn't start second guessing yourself. You know, is it the video games that pushed her away? I mean, it's possible, but I mean, you have to have the conversation. And if the person doesn't want to talk to you, if they need their distance, the way I look at it is maybe just let them go, let them do their thing. When they're ready to talk, they'll come back to you. The worst thing you can do is try to force it on somebody, you know, repeatedly text message them, you know, what did I do wrong? Talk to me, goddammit. Are you fucking another guy? I shouldn't laugh, but I mean, honestly, just give it some time, let the person, you know, think it over, and, you know, hopefully cooler heads will prevail. But at the same token, and I told my buddy this, you know, at the end of the day, life goes on. You have to live your life regardless of, you know, what happens in your relationship. If somebody says, you know what, I want nothing to do with you anymore, you have to be able to accept that and move on, as hard as it can be sometimes. And, you know, the longer time passes, the better you will feel, and then eventually you will meet somebody else, and then you'll quickly forget about the experience with the other person that you were with. I'm not saying you have to completely forget about it, but you know, sometimes getting into a new relationship can be a healthy distraction, and it can help you forget about, you know, the toxic relationship that you might have been in before. So, you know, it is something to talk about. It's tough too, because I don't know why we're talking about dating right now, but it is tough, because if you're looking for like a gamer chick, I'm not trying to sound what's the word? I don't know. Maybe not stereotypical, but as far as I'm concerned, there's not a lot of gamer chicks out there. If there are, please direct me to the right area, because I'm obviously not looking in the right area. Most of the women that I talk to, you know, they're looking for a guy who's somewhat established, or has his feet on the ground, his ducks in a row. And the woman, especially, and that's another thing too I want to bring up. And a lot of you guys, you may not understand just yet because you're younger, but once you get to be in your 30s, 35, 36, 37, closer to 40, sometimes women, you know, they can get a little bit squirrely, you know, menopause. And, you know, sometimes it is what it is. You know, sometimes guys can as well. Sometimes people do go through the quote-unquote midlife crisis. And I've learned that as I've gotten older. I see it all the time. You know, the last relationship I was in, she was, I think, maybe a year or two older than me. So I was maybe 36, she was 38. And it seemed healthy enough. And then as I continued to date her for several months, I started to see really weird behavioral patterns and characteristics and things of that nature. So again, I don't want to really go down that road too much, but like I said, sometimes people, you know, the older you get, they kind of get into their certain patterns, they're set on their ways, and they can get a little bit stubborn as well. So it is what it is. I think I'll end it there. You know, maybe we can have a little bit of a conversation about this in the comments. I know this subject matter may not be for everybody, but I thought I'd bring it up. It was interesting enough to talk about. So yeah, we'll end it there. Just about at 10 minutes to get that sweet Radical Rick ad. Rad revenue. Ad revenue. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great weekend. Take care.